Hello and welcome to my new video. And before I start the video, I just want to say thank you to those people who already subscribed my channel. And if you haven't, please go ahead and subscribe so you can keep getting my upcoming videos. So today I'm working on an XS Max. It has a crack LCD. You can see the spider here. And the bad thing is it does not turn on. It was on charging for a couple hours, but it didn't show any sign of life. If I press the power button, it does not turn on whatsoever. So I was on heat pad for a couple of minutes, and I already removed 2 penelope screws from here, as we do with all other models. And now I'll be separating the panel. Okay, looks like this phone has been opened before, but we'll find out soon. So this procedure is same almost like other phones. You just have to be careful. If the speaker is at the top, the cables are on the right hand side here, so you don't damage you don't want to go too deep on this side. I'll show you once I lift the panel up. You have to go all around because it's adhesive, and because I put it on heat pad, that's why it's a little bit easy to remove this. It's still holding it, but and there you go. So you can see this sticky adhesive. So we start with this. I hope you can see in the camera, with this tri-point 3 screws. There's number 1 and screw number 2. So as you know, it's very important before you remove the display, you have to disconnect the power. The battery has to be disconnected, otherwise you can end up damaging either your LCD or motherboard. So we'll be removing this plate, which I already did, and then this plate. Okay, these plates, they keep the connectors intact, so in case when you drop the phone, they don't come off. That's what these retaining plates do. So if you have watched my previous videos, you know, like I replaced the LCD any phone after 8 Plus, which has the Face IDs. I do not disconnect this flux going towards the Face ID or speaker. So all I do is flip the phone like that. But before I do that, you know, let's disconnect the battery. And I believe this is the battery connector. There you go. So if you don't know which connector is the battery, you can trace from here. You can see this ribbon is going this way, so this is the battery connector. So now let's disconnect the Face ID. I hope you can see clearly. So Face ID is held by 3 screws and 3 tri-point screws. As you can see, I removed already 2. The third one is a little smaller. And it goes like that. And to remove this Face ID, we need to give it a little bit heat because it's held by adhesive, but you don't want to give too much heat because you can easily damage the Face ID. And the earpiece speaker is also attached to the same part. So you know where the phone is, there's already a heat pad underneath, so it's a little bit warm already. When you apply some heat, it should be easy to lift it up. See, it's on it. Okay, there you go. So that was easy. So now, since this has been removed, so LCD has two connectors. Okay, let me put it this way so you can see clearly. So one connector is right here, and the other one you can trace from LCD. I hope you can see from, you see this connector going into the motherboard, so remove that connector, so that whole panel is off. So here's the new panel. You can see it's OEM panel, and usually with these panels you can keep that true tone like it's original screen, because what happens is once you replace the LCD you lose the true tone. If you know the true tone, I'll show you at the end of the video. But these are good quality OEM LCD displays, I mean OLED displays, and the beauty of these displays is you can retain your true tone even after replacing the panel. So now we have to put all three screws back which were holding Face ID. You can't go wrong with it because you just have to align these three screws. So it might sound difficult, but in fact it's not that difficult. The only tricky part is, you know, to remove the Face ID. But if you apply a little bit heat and do not force it, it should come off easily. So now we have the Face ID in place, and you put these connectors back. Okay. So you should be able to hear some kind of click when you snap the connector in. Once you hear the click, that's a good sign. That means the connector is sitting properly. So you should not have any problem. So I have the LCD in place, and there you go. You can see the Apple. That means whatever we did so far, it worked. I'll show you after the phone boots up. Let's put those plates back. So this is the first one we removed, the metal plate. And you don't really need too many techie tools to replace the LCD if you want to do it at home. There are a few things required. You make a list. If you want, I'll leave in the description what do you need, so you can order those tools and you can do it at home. Okay. Sorry, it's going this way. Yeah. So one screw is the longest, and try to keep it in the same pattern when you remove them, so that way you don't mix them up, because the longer screw will not go in any other hole, and if you force it you can damage the logic board easily. So this is the second screw. There's the third screw. There is the screw number 4. Here you can, as you can see, the phone booted up already. So as you can see, after replacing the screen, True Tone is still there, because this LCD was OEM, and usually when you replace the screen, this True Tone icon disappears, which represents the replaced LCD is not genuine. But this was because OEM, it was an expensive screen, and secondly, initially it did not show up, but once I reset all the settings, and then it just popped up. So thank you very much for watching the video, and if you think this video was helpful, please go ahead and subscribe my channel, and see you in the next video. Thank you.